What is up, guys? With this video, it's going to be a special video, like I mentioned during the pickup we did. So this video is going to be on Goosebumps, as you can tell from the ending thing of what I did. So we're just going to do a whole franchise series of what I own on Goosebumps, and we're just going to talk about our experiences. So I've gotten with the gang to talk about their experiences, and then we're gonna do ours, and then after that I'll show you everything I have. So let's get on to those clips of what they enjoyed on the Goosebumps series.
Hi, I'm here to talk about Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. He kind of calls Goosebumps his Twilight Zone, because that's what Goosebumps pretty much is, the Twilight Zone for kids. You know, each story is something different, except for the sequels like the Monster Blood and then the Slappy, the Night of the Living Dummy, and Say Cheese and Die and Say Cheese and Die 2. I only read one book, Say Cheese and Die, but I didn't read the second one. And it spawned to a TV series in the 90s, and of course you know Disney Plus released a new version of Goosebumps, but it's sort of the same, but in some ways it's different. But you're gonna have to see that to believe it. I won't go in any further. My brother Darren was always a big Goosebumps fan. Each week he always bought mostly each month he bought a new book. It didn't drive my mom crazy because it involved reading, because he liked to read. It was like a fun thing to read each week. These scary, spine-tingling tales for kids. I mean, and he just comes up with it so uniquely, and so cleverly, you know. I was looking forward. When I read Say Cheese and Die, I mean, I was just getting intrigued by where the story was going. You know, every time he took a picture, it wasn't the picture he actually took. But of course, you knew that. If you read the book, you knew that. And I was deeply excited. Me and my brother were deeply excited when we found out it was going to be a TV series. And I was looking forward if they were going to make the Say Cheese and Die into an episode, and they finally did. And of course, it starred a then unknown Ryan Gosling. And the episodes I do remember, Be Careful What You Wish For, Cuckoo Clock of Doom, which were pretty good episodes. They made some changes to the book, but other than that, they stayed pretty true to the book with a little bit of changes. And that's about all I gotta say about it. So hope you enjoy the next person that talks. Sayonara.
Okay, so my first experience with Goosebumps was way back in, I want to say, 4th or 5th grade, whenever the books first came out. And so the reason I started reading them was because I was starting to get interested in horror, and in my schools we were taught about, early American horror as a young kid, because we had education, European education. And one of the shows that was really popular at the time, they used to have reruns of Dark Shadows on Sci-Fi Channel. And I love Dark Shadows. And so my first experience with Goosebumps, I don't remember the order, but these are just a few of them that I really, really enjoyed as a kid, and I think y'all probably will remember them. The first one is, of course, Say Cheese and Die. I love that story because it was actually a exposure to photography as well for me, because the premise of the story involved a camera. And it got me interested in photography and doing stuff with my dad. So also we have Let's Get Invisible, which was just a fun little story. I don't really remember too much about it. Then we have one of my favorites, Night of the Living Dummy, excuse me, which was the introduction to Slappy. And I love Slappy. He's so creepy and so funny at the same time. He's almost like if Deadpool was in a pre-K format. That's basically what Slappy is, in my opinion. Then we have, let's see, The Haunted Mask. The Haunted Mask really freaked me out as a kid. And it really freaked me out a lot more when I saw the episode on TV when it came out. I want to say the series came out in 95 or 96. And by that time, I'd already read some of the books at that point. And that was my first episode that I saw. Because I remember, like, a lot of people were talking about it. So I had to check it out. And then one of the weirder ones was The Scarecrow's Walk at Midnight. That was just a strange little story. And if you have seen the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the film, they allude to that in another way. There's a similar story in that series, and it's all about a high school jock who turns into a scarecrow. And that's basically what I think that was kind of based on, maybe. Then The Phantom in the Auditorium is basically a retelling of Phantom of the Opera, if I remember correctly. And the ones that really freaked me out the most is actually my favorite episode too, was A Night in Terror Tower. Because I've been to the Tower of London, and it just makes me want to go back. It makes me think when I was a kid. And I also played the games on the PS4 and I believe the Switch. And I actually had a good time for some of the game. So that is the reason I have a love affair with Goosebumps. So now over to you, buddy.
Hello. As my husband said, we're doing the Goosebumps thing, so I'll just try to remember what I remember. Where I think the new one where something about they were in a haunted place, haunted house, and where something about how the books all came, was all nice and messy and everything, and then they literally had to go and try to chase all the bad, stuff back into the books, which is a big old adventure of it. So that was kind of cool to me, but I'm not exactly sure if that was the new one or what one it was.
That's the newest movie.
But anyway,
I guess that's all the memories she has.
It was cool though, so I liked it.
My memories on Goosebumps started in the late 90s when I was in elementary, and when they had the book fair. They had these papers that came out with all the books that you can get. So Scholastic had a bunch of things. One of them was Goosebumps. I didn't know what it was. So I kept flipping. I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. So it was a box set with 3 books. So I ended up, I asked my parents about the series. And I think around that time they had them on TV. I forgot what TV station it was at that time. Fox, probably. So we watched a few episodes. Then I got to the books. I enjoyed it. So every time the book fair came, I kept asking my mom, give me more Goosebumps. More and more and more. So that's how that started. And then sometime early this year, late last year, I was actually playing the game on PlayStation 2 with Michael. It was Goosebumps in Horrorland, I think it was. So all the fun mini games are just weird, basically. I mean, it's Goosebumps, so you can't go wrong with that. So I do have a few other books that I've found throughout the years. I have so many series of the franchise itself on Goosebumps. I just enjoy the series. I know one of my probably my favorite episodes was the Cuckoo Clock of Doom on the original. Vampire Blood was another one. I'm sure a lot of people probably liked Night of the Living Dummy because of Slappy. He was actually kind of funny in the movie, the new movie. I don't remember the second movie too much, but the first one was actually funny. Because they had a twist in the movie. I'm not going to say what it is if y'all haven't seen it, but there is a twist.
Yeah.
Of course, R.L. Stein. There's
That was
always
cool.
a twist.
That was very cool right there.
Let's see what else I have. This is hard to tell with some of the memories because I've read mostly all the books. I've watched just about every episode. Saw both of the new movies. I mean, that's basically it. So, since we got our memories taken care of, how about now I just show you all the stuff that I own on Goosebumps, and then that way you can just, oh yeah, that's a lot. So we'll just show you exactly what I own, and hope y'all enjoy it. Alright, so as you can see, this right here is actually a box set, and I'm not sure, I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes per disc right here, so this is the disc that actually comes inside the box set. This is another 3-pack that I actually found, not too long ago, and actually, I think I had this one for a while. This book I actually found interesting. Dirty Tales to Give You Goosebumps. Kind of cool looking. Didn't read that yet. So now we go on to the original series all right here. So I have exactly 50 out of 62 books. Like I don't know exactly where some of my favorite ones were, but I know the Clock of Doom is somewhere there up in this little area, I think. Because I think this is the last one right here on this series, Monster Blood 4. I know Michael's, I think he said was Say Cheese and Die. There's the Night of the Living Dummy Part 2. Yeah, so I think his was Say Cheese and Die. He kept talking about a lot. So this series was the TV episode books. So it was smaller, but it had images from the actual TV show. I wish I had more. Hopefully I can find more in the future. This series right here, Give Yourself Goosebumps. I have 3 of them. This actually allows you to choose your own path when reading. So as you're reading the first few pages, then it gives you a choice. Either continue or just choose whatever pages it tells you to go to. Then I have even more tales to give you Goosebumps, which only have that one book. It's a special edition, so I'm not sure how many books they made. These 2 are from R.L. Stein as well that I have. Fear Street, which I think it's early 90s as well, maybe in the 80s. So that's the only one I have on that one, and then R.L. Stein, The Beast. So these are the 2 games I mentioned before. Horrorland. It's a fun game. This is the newest, one of the newest ones. This is the first movie right here. And then a couple mostly ghostly movies, which are awesome. Nice little twist in these movies as well. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the whole... This is my whole collection on Goosebumps. This whole entire thing right here. That's why I wanted to get this video done for y'all. So this is something special besides a gaming video. But don't worry. Another pickup will be next week. So just stay tuned for that. Until then, keep on gaming, guys. And we'll see you in the next video. Later.